Krista, I bumped you to the top of the list because I felt that yours took priority. I love you. They're already shuffled. I'm going to cut them. I'm pretty tired, so hopefully this works out. If it doesn't, I will abandon the project and try again after I sleep. All right. So you pretty much know how this goes. I'm not going to really explain everything. What covers you? So what this centers around is a woman, and it may be you, with a loving nature, just able to see always, and in fact I think it is you because you are a Leo, and it's somebody who always sees the bright side, somebody who always believes in the best, and they always find a way to be happy. They uplift others. They keep each other uplifted. Even when things are difficult, they help others stay positive. This is a person who radiates positivity and optimism, and she's also extremely just caring. Like she cares about the feelings of the people that she loves, and she really just wants everyone that she loves to be happy, and to be able to nurture them, not like, materially, because she's summer, not winter or autumn, but she just wants to be able to give peace to those that she cares about. She would prefer to take the burden rather than them ever know about it. And so again, I think that that's you, and that's at the center of this. What crosses you? So what affects this, for better or for worse? Some petty type of conflict. It's a distraction. You may get pulled into it mistakenly thinking it's more important than it is. You might waste more time and energy defending yourself or fighting this stupid little battle, which doesn't mean anything though, and it's actually taking you away from your actual work. It's pointless because it's not going to get anywhere. It's kind of just like whatever, if you have a difference of opinion, back and forth bickering, or just kind of conflict out of boredom, just stupid shit that it won't really end, and also it won't really get you anywhere. And that may be impacting, your ability to stay positive. I just saw that around you. And it could even just be other people, but it's not in your environment. So, whatever, some kind of way. And it wouldn't just be you and one other person. Most likely it's multiple people just kind of at each other's throats. Not like in a serious way, though. It's not over anything major. Just discontent and people just picking at each other. At the foundation, we have where you are. What this has come from is the acceptance of having to let go of, to end a cycle. Acknowledgement that has ended, and it's time to let it go so that whatever's meant to take its place can. It's very difficult to be graceful about these transitions because even when we know that they're right, the fear of the unknown, comfort with the familiar, and uncertainty with the path can make it difficult, and sometimes we get stuck here because even though we know we have to release, we can't. But so this has created this. So it looks like perhaps so far, you're trying to stay positive about an ending, and by looking on the bright side like you do, and realizing that it must mean that something better is coming. But then there's all this mumbling and grumbling about it from others, which is really kind of fucking with your vibe. In your recent past, as it pertains to this situation, so recently you had just started a new journey. This would have something to do with, family finances, home, material things. So a new journey of stability. And of course, there's still a lot of steps to be made before it reaches completion. No guarantee that it will. But being that it is a beginning, all the possibilities were there. The outcome, there were so many infinite ways that it could have played out. And rather than you feeling like you had to know, you just were relaxing and enjoying the journey and excited to see where it would take you, without expectations, but willing to work hard and willing to learn what you needed to learn and to focus on stability. You wanted to make, she's got like all her books around her and she's cheerful. She's extremely happy. She's like, oh, this is a new thing, and she didn't look at it as like work at all. Like a lot of us look at stability as just boring work, like responsibilities. It was like, oh no, I'm really going to throw myself into this and I'm going to do like everything I can to be the best at this. In your near future, you'll have this will help with your positivity as well. You'll have, these are your cheerleaders. That's why I always say, typically it is a supportive system of women. It's not like the entire group. Like say, and I know you wouldn't, but say you were part of a church group or something. It's not the whole church group. It's just some specific members where you are more close. And your role in each other's lives is to build each other up and to see the best in each other and to keep each other going, keep each other motivated. The role of these people is never to point out your flaws or to tell you what you could do differently. You've got other people, if necessary, to do that, or you're already aware of those things. Their role isn't to do that. Their role is only to focus on the best and the most positive and to keep reminding you of all that you've got going for you. And so that if you don't have that, you'll receive some support from women in your life, possibly like your mother or sister or just very close female friends. What crowns you? So the best possible outcome that you may be hoping for, the best thing that you could see happening or that could happen out of this situation, which is interesting, is that even though, I get this, even though you've given up on this, you've recognized that there's release and you've walked away, you're like, okay, well, it's done. However, the other party hasn't completely given up yet. They haven't acknowledged that it's over and they haven't moved on. So since this is in the crowning position, it may be that even though it looks like it's done and you've already made peace with the fact that you need to move on, and in fact you've started to, they are still there. So that tells me that there is a chance that whatever you thought was over might not be, or there might be some further negotiations that you do not expect. And what those would be, I'm not really sure, but I hope that you do, or at least you will. Anyway, and that's not saying that would happen, but that's saying that's a possible outcome. That's the best possible outcome. Stupid ant. Okay. You, in this situation, you're filled with regret and worry. This is something where, although once you get past this and once you let go and detach from those nagging regrets, you'll be able to complete your healing. You'll be able to put this past you and take only what you've learned from it. And you have learned from it. It has given you wisdom. You have grown, so it has served its purpose. Don't beat yourself up thinking, oh, it was a failure. I didn't succeed because it didn't accomplish whatever it was. It wasn't about that. It never was about that. It was just to go through some painful lessons, to teach you some things and to give you some wisdom. And everything that happened was supposed to happen. And like I said, it may not have happened the way that you expected or the way that you hoped. And that might keep you up at night with worries, regrets. What if I'd done this? What if I hadn't done that? Oh my gosh, what have I done? But the message too is, although it's normal and natural and you do need to feel your feelings, not saying you should ignore those, but also don't attach to them. You can grieve for whatever it was or be remorseful, but then complete feeling your feelings and finish your healing, because as soon as you look forward instead of backwards, you'll be able to wrap this cycle up and move into the next thing that's meant for you. In your environment, so someone around you that impacts this situation that is not you, we would have a young man, somebody just galloping in very gallantly, very confidently, so this might be somebody like, I can fix this, this is your white knight, Captain Save-A-Ho. I'm not calling you a ho. You know what I mean, though. Just somebody just marching up. Like, he's not really thinking, though. Like, he doesn't have a good plan. And he's just kind of hoping that, like, he can sort of wing it and it's just going to come together. And maybe it will, but there's no guarantee that it will, especially because he's the prince. He doesn't really have a concrete plan. He might come across like he does. Oh, let me fix this. We're going to get this done. We're going to do this. And that's great that you've got somebody that is so confident and that's so willing to put so much energy and that's so motivated. However, and despite what they may tell you or try to make you believe, they may not actually have a concrete plan or a workable solution to the issue. So that could end up with you ending up being disappointed. So don't put too much stock in this person. Certainly, no harm giving them a chance, but keep your backup plans, and don't attach to that, because although his intentions are the best and he truly believes that just with his confidence he can overcome any other shortcomings and somehow he can make it work, kind of like my ex Joth. But in reality, sometimes his flame fizzles out as quickly as it lit. He might get distracted by something else or lose interest or get bored or kind of be like, well, whatever. Your hopes or fears as it comes to this situation. So you're hoping to be able to be like the masculine, mature representation of the winter. So this is saying, through this emotional pain, this is saying you recognize that you're stuck here. And you are hoping to be able to detach from that because you know that it's not assisting you with being able to make the decisions you need to make and take the actions you need. It's clouding your judgment, keeping you stuck or from doing things, and you just want to not shut that off. You're not trying to shut that off at all, but you're trying to just put that in its own section, like categorize, that's not the word, compartmentalize. You want to be able to move forward with a clear head, working only on logic, what needs to be done, not get caught up in emotion, not let that pull you down or stall you or get you thinking unrealistic thoughts. You just really want to be able to get down to business and to make the logical decisions, to tap into every practical part of you and everything. He also has a lot of wisdom through life experience, through painful life experience. So that in this case would be a gift, because you would like to be able to just draw from what have my experiences taught me, based on what I've experienced, what is likely to happen if I do this, what's the most logical step. So you would like to get more in touch with that and more out of this space. And being that it's a king, it would be a more active energy rather than receptive, like a female just waiting for things to happen. Not saying like women, feminine energy, but not just waiting for things to happen, but actually actively making decisions, initiating and not waiting. So there's that. Possible outcome if you continue on your current path. So there's, and it could be because of this guy, and that might explain why it's kind of an uneasy trust, and it's something that you just don't really know a whole lot about. Like there's no firm promise, no written guarantee, nothing specifically or explicitly said, but perhaps something suggested or implied, or there's a little thing that gives you some type of glimmer of hope about something. And you see how, I think I've explained this card to you before. So this is what he hopes to get for Christmas. Now it's distant, it's not attached, because he doesn't want to be let down if he doesn't get that. He'd like to be able to daydream about it without expecting it. And that's kind of what will come of this. There may be some factor that gives you reason to think, and maybe it's, where is he? This whole thing, that maybe something is giving you reason to think that this really isn't over. Maybe the other party will reconsider, and whatever it is that you're hoping has to do with this. So like this hope right here, you're like, maybe this will happen. So you'll allow yourself to trust it a little, but not enough to like put yourself at risk. It's an uneasy trust. So like you dare get your hopes up a little bit, but not to put all of your hopes in this one possibility, because it is just a glimmer. It'd be cool if it happened, but so that's good. I'm also going to draw an advice card for you. Your advice card is saying never stop wishing. I know that you said you read your horoscope and it said you're out of miracles, and this isn't necessarily saying believe in miracles, but don't give up hope. Still wish on that star. Still put your intention, put your desire out there. Don't discontinue hoping for the very best outcome, no matter how unrealistic you might think it is. Now, this advice card does not say that doing this is going to guarantee the outcome you want, but for whatever reason, this is a good thing to do. And I don't know why. But even if whatever this situation is doesn't pan out the way that you'd like for it to, the advice is to still don't stop wishing for what would bring you the ultimate emotional satisfaction. So don't settle, even if temporarily things go off the tracks and you have to deal with something that less than your ideal situation of perfection and complete contentment. Don't give up on that dream. So I hope that made sense to you. I love you. And if it didn't, I'll give you another one after I've had some sleep. But I hope you have a good day. Bye.